And we're alive! What's this? Okay. Do I usually have the light on or not? I don't remember. Hang on. Hey, Hopio. Oh, you come to see who I'm talking to? Alright. So, where are we up to? Hello, everyone. Reach. See if anyone's... let me just check. Oh, Hopio, come here. You wanna come up? Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Alright, run away. No, okay. Let me just check if anyone else said anything before we get going. No. Okay, so, oh, hello, there is someone here. Feel free to, like, say hi. Yeah, and ask me questions and so on. I don't usually get to live stream at this time of night, so hello. Oh my god, hope you're distracting. So, for the people watching the replay as well, I guess I should say some stuff. Oh, hello, there's another person! Feel free to say hi and type comments. Sometimes comments are a bit slow. Hello! Callum, nice to see you. Yeah, sometimes comments are a bit slow, so if it takes me a while to respond, that's why. You know, Australian internet. Hopi! Stop being distracting! Come here, come here, come here, come here. Alright, Hopi's here too. Hey, District Zombie! I hope he's a little bit confused. He's sort of wondering who I'm talking to. Because there's no one else here, is there, Hopi? So yeah, welcome to everyone, especially new people, because there have been a lot of new people lately, I think mostly from Instagram. I've sort of recently been trying harder on Instagram. I don't know, Instagram's an interesting thing because, did you want to hop down or you're okay? You just want to stuff? Instagram's an interesting thing because, I mean, I originally just got it because that's where my Japanese family are. They don't like Facebook. I guess they've bought into a lot of the paranoia about that. Privacy and also employers finding your stuff and whatever. But Instagram is kind of the same, like it's the same company and people can still see a lot of the stuff that you're doing, unless you have a private account, I guess. But yeah, no, being on Instagram is one of the ways that I can keep in touch with my Japanese family. So that's why I started it. And in the beginning, I just posted random artsy stuff, the toys Hopi's destroyed and that I've, you know, stitched back together for him. But then when I went to Japan and brought back heaps of fashion stuff, I was like, well, this is really cool. I want to share it. And so I've sort of gradually started doing more fashion-related stuff. But I didn't really, and I was trying to promote a bit of my music stuff, but it's hard to promote that when I'm not 100% into it. I'm not sure what I'm doing about music, but we'll get there and figure something out. So yeah, with Instagram, I think the reason I've started doing more is because those of you who've been watching me a while, you know I'm doing the Punk Rave Australia reviews, which, like, you know, I'm still, like, amazed that that's happened to me because I'm not one of these huge influencers or anything. They actually picked me based on my audition, which is, like, awesome. But yeah, and then because I've been having some great chats with them, I'm now, like, a social media intern, just helping them out with their Facebook page because I was trying to explain to them some video-related stuff and they didn't really seem to get it. So they're like, yeah, you want to help out? And I'm like, yes, as long as I can call myself this. So I've been doing that. And then more recently, you know, I've noticed some stuff on their Instagram that was a bit like, I'm not sure why things are being done that way, like why they don't use stories, because, yeah, and they're also not tagging products in their Instagram pictures. And I'm like, if you're a business, surely you would want to do that. So I've been trying to learn Instagram as well, just sort of inspired by that, reading up on that. And I don't know, as I've said before, I don't really trust a lot of these social media guru types. How many videos ago did I do that one? I recently made a video about business and social media gurus because a lot of the time they're just trying to sell you something, and that kind of annoys me because you can't really trust what they're saying. Anyway, oops, I've clicked the wrong thing to see what video that was. So, oh, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos ago. I don't trust business and social media gurus, they just want my money. That was based on a particular ad I got on Facebook, but, you know, there's some dodgy stuff going on in that kind of world. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I know, like, business has to make money, but there are some guys out there who are super dodgy. I don't want to say the guy's name because I don't think he deserves any publicity, but, you know, it was one of those ones who's trying to teach you to become a business consultant, but he's a business consultant, and his business is consulting for people who want to be business consultants. This is really weird circular thing, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know that I trust you if your only business is consulting for people who want to consult for business. I don't know, my brain's just, it's like, yeah, it's fake. And you know, the social media guys who, like, their whole popularity is based on the fact that they supposedly know how social media works. But if that's, I don't know, it's a circular content does my head in. Anyway, what was I saying? I've been trying to understand Instagram better, initially from that business perspective, but as I was reading stuff, what's your main genre of content on social media? This is the difficult thing. So I've watched a lot of, like, how to do YouTube better, because YouTube is sort of like my home on the internet. I'm on Facebook a lot, but that's more privately, and either with music industry people or people actually know in real life, whereas YouTube is where I say anything. And one of the things in YouTube is they're always like, oh, you've got to work out what your niche is. And I tend to, like, have a lot of hobbies, and then I'll move from hobby to hobby. I don't have a niche, so if you want to, like, really bring it down to a niche, my niche is essentially me. I am the niche of my channel, because I can't think of any particular way to describe what it is. I guess I do music. I've done heavy metal music, industrial music, and then, you know, some of the gothic and metal kind of alternative fashions along with that. What else do? I do a bit of bonsai. That's actually, like, my paid job at the moment is working in bonsai. A couple of times a month. I think next month I'll be doing it every week. Just one day. I always need the day after to recover because it's actually quite physical, and I'm only very small, so yeah, especially when we're having to lift a lot of bonsai, that tires me out. I also do art kinds of stuff. Oh, I have one that I haven't posted up yet. I'll get to that eventually. Yeah, what I used to sometimes talk about psychology, although I did that more when I was actually depressed, because, you know, it was a relevant topic for me at the time. And, you know, it's interesting. People, like, when I've talked about it, I get messages sometimes about people saying, like, how it's helpful, and, you know, asking me how I navigated the system, especially from Aussies, because I've been through the Australian system, and I don't know how it works overseas, but I know what you have to do here to get help. So I've done a bit of that. I've also done some weirder stuff in the past, like some of my long-term hardcore viewers will remember I used to interview people who are in the vampire subculture, so psychic vampires and sanguinarians, which I haven't talked to any of them in ages. I have no idea what happened to those people. And also the Therians, so that's like werewolves and, you know, other animals, I guess, other kin and so on. I'm kind of interested in, like, the weirder parts of humanity. I probably also used to talk about atheism, but I haven't really thought about that so much. I got really interested in religion for a while. Yeah, so, what? I get off topic a lot. I get on tangents a lot. What's my main genre of content on social media? I mean, I guess, with YouTube, I find it easy to just be myself on YouTube. On Instagram, I mean, the thing that's frustrating about Instagram is it's kind of set up to be a little bit shallow. And that's, like, you know, when I was sort of getting used to Instagram, that's one of the things that bothered me about it, and why I didn't put much effort in, and why I didn't really try to use it, because I was like, how do you even find real people on this? I mean, half the time you get followed and followed by, I assume, bots, or, you know, like people who they just want you to follow them, but they're doing this weird stuff instead of like actually trying to, I don't know. It's so weird. And then you also look at some of the popular images, and it's just like, I don't know, people in heavy makeup and really constructed images. And, you know, like when I make my images, I try and give it some composition because that's the point of Instagram, right? But when you're actually trying to interact with people, it's kind of frustrating. So, yeah, I'm still sort of working out what I'm doing with Instagram. I guess sort of moving more into fashion, seeing as I somehow ended up becoming a fashion reviewer. Like, I like the gothic fashion, but I've never seen myself that way. Like, I don't even know how to do makeup really. Most of the time I just do eyeliner and then eyeshadow to like smudge over the obvious mistakes. But yeah, I don't really have time for makeup, so that's not something I would I'm ever plan to get going in. But yeah, so Instagram, I mean, they kind of force you to be shallow. You know, one of the frustrating things is like you try and talk to people, but half the time you just get emojis back, and it's hard to like engage with people. But lately, I've been having a better time at finding people who actually want to have a conversation and, you know, who are a little bit more interesting. So I'm happy with that. Instagram's starting to get more interesting as I figured out how to find like the real people. But in terms of my content, I still have to at least like show stuff to get people interested in the first place. Yeah, I've tried. Oh, no worries, District Zombie. Thanks for checking in. I'll see you in the next video. I'm hoping it will be Punk Rave Australia's video, but I'm waiting for them to upload it first. Makeup is called makeup for a reason. It's to make up for the stuff they don't have. Oh dear. I mean, like, I have mixed feelings about makeup. For me, it's too much effort. But for some people, it's an art form, and like it's the same thing with tattoos. I don't have any tattoos myself. I don't think I would ever get one, partly because I'm averse to pain, partly because I'm so bad at making up my mind and like, you know, what would be my first tattoo? I would spend so long trying to make up that decision that I would just never get there. So for, you know, reasons like that, I'm not interested in getting tattoos for myself, but I can appreciate that it's an art form, so when other people get tattoos, I'm happy to look at it. Some of them are really awesome as well. It's just not for me. It's the same thing with makeup, I think. So, you know, for me, makeup's not something I really want to do, but I can see the artistry, especially, I think, like, mainstream makeup is a bit boring to me, but some of the more artistic, like, especially in gothic cultures, you get some really interesting makeup. So, yeah, I just don't think it's practical for my life, and I don't know, I was never a girly girl in school, so I didn't even attempt makeup myself until after leaving school and getting into the gothic culture. I would only get a tattoo of a tree with my family's name in it. Oh yeah, that sounds like it would be a nice one. You know, the family tree. Haha, I love puns. That's great. Yeah, I had a lecturer who got me hooked on puns. Getting just a little bit clumsy. I'm gonna put my jumper back on. Yeah, no, makeup is an interesting thing. And then there are some people who, like, if they have anxiety problems, I guess it helps a little bit. But you know, that's kind of a double-edged sword. Or is double-edged sword the right expression? I'm not sure. But it's kind of like, on the one hand, maybe it does help with the symptoms of anxiety, but it doesn't help with the cause. I don't know, that stuff's kind of complicated, and I don't really want to judge people for it, but it's not for me. And when you get advice from people like, oh, if you're going on Instagram, you should have makeup and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I would rather be me, so I'm not a makeup person, you know. As I was saying, I didn't even try it until after I left high school and started to get into more of that gothic aesthetic. I used to do my eyeliner more, including on YouTube, especially when I was going through some stuff. Because for me, the reason I chose the eyeliner is because it was sort of metaphoric as well. I used to have a lot of symbolism in my appearance, especially when I had some really crazy stuff going on in my head. It was just a way to get it out of my head and externalize what I was feeling. So with, you know, they say the eyes are like the window to the soul. So I was like, well, I'm going to put black all around it to kind of express what's going on inside me. I also had, I guess, yes, I think you're someone new from Instagram. I'm still getting used to everyone's names. Callum. Oh, I don't know, because people use different names on Instagram and YouTube, and that always throws me off a little bit. I think you're new from maybe from Instagram though, or just new in general. I don't recognize the username. So I'm pretty, well, I used to be pretty into duality, and so like that's a huge thing. The whole you're not from Instagram. Oh my gosh, that's exciting because I feel like lately everyone's been coming from Instagram and yeah, awesome. So where are you from then? Because I'm curious to know how people are finding me and especially when I don't recognize people because I've got like some hardcore viewers who have been around for ages, but I'm always excited about new people. So, oh, that's right. I remember the bonsai comment. Where is that? The bonsai, yes. Well, if you have any questions about bonsai, like that's my job now. I have to scroll down a bit. Oh yeah, there you are. You're in Australia. Sweet. Yeah, are you in Sydney? I'm in Sydney. Or are you from somewhere else? Sorry, the comments can be a little bit delayed and they disappear from my screen, so I have to keep like trying to remember unless I tap that little button. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, hello. I remember your channel from a long time ago. YouTube is very different now. It is. Hey, wow, it's not actually showing me. Oh, Lismore. Hang on. Ah, they're going too fast for me. Lismore, okay. I was gonna say if you're in Sydney, you know, because I'm getting hot again. Because I work in bonsai, like if you had questions about that, my boss like knows everything about bonsai. His mum is like I don't know the bonsai culture really because I just like working on them. I'm not part of any of the bonsai societies, but she, as far as I know, is kind of a big deal. Like she's from Japan and has been here for a while and has done a lot of work with Australian natives in bonsai. So she's like, you know, done a lot of stuff with figs. I think those might be one of her favorites. And then, yeah, my boss, who's her son, he went and studied horticulture as well. So on top of the traditional knowledge of bonsai, he also knows a lot about the diseases is what I'm learning a lot at the moment and how different trees respond to different situations. He knows like so much stuff. So yeah, if you wanted to know more about bonsai, well, I guess you're probably a way away. I'm not sure how far Lismore is from Sydney, but you know, you can ask me questions, drop me a question whenever, and as much as I can. If I can't answer it, then the next time I go into a shift, I can be like, hey, how would you do this thing? Because yeah, I've been doing bonsai with them. I started learning with them when I was in high school. So if you watch the very first bonsai tutorials I've done, that I actually did in high school. It says 2008 is when I uploaded it, but I actually filmed it in 2006 when I was still in high school. And then I sort of took a break because I've had a lot of depression in my life, but then I found them again and they needed some help, and so I've been getting right back into the bonsai. I should make some more videos. I've done some experimental stuff that I want to show off. I just haven't got around to it. It's been crazy lately. I feel like time's just disappearing. What was the other thing we were saying? Oh, Impaler the Monarch. I remember your channel from a long time ago. Yeah. So what I was, I get so off track. No, I was into duality a lot in the past. So the Destroyer Mariko thing is kind of representing the different parts of my personality because I went to a Catholic school and I come from a conservative family as well. And when I was growing up, you know, there's a lot of pressure to behave in a particular way and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't really know how to deal with it, especially with some of the other stuff going on in my head. So I kind of like split the parts of my personality to deal with that. And that's why my username is Destroy Mariko. Yeah, kind of like, I don't know, it's just stuck. I can't think of any other names because I'm sort of past that point in my life where identity is a big issue. But I think I was talking about appearance before, and so as well as the dark makeup, what I used to do is I need to do an update on my bonsai trees. Yeah, I think I did quite a lengthy one, maybe over summer. But yeah, there's some other ones that could probably be updated. I haven't, I've got to work on my junipers. I've got some juniper cascades that really need a lot of work. I'm a bit worried. Yeah, I've got to find a sunnier spot because as winter's coming, like the light's changing and I need to make sure they grow. Anyway, I'll just finish this thought about the appearance thing. So as well as the dark eyes, I also had, I think, spikes on my left because my left is the non-dominant hand for me. So that's sort of representing all the dark stuff I was hiding. And then I would wear a watch on my right because a watch is like a symbol of time and schedules and like the part of me that was trying to operate in society. These days though, my life, like, I didn't end up going in that path that I was supposed to go. You know, I'm working in bonsai instead of like finance or law or being a doctor or anything that, you know, probably people were hoping for me. I was good at maths in school, but I just think weirdly and yeah, so music, art, bonsai, I guess, is an art form. I think music and art are probably my top two, along with YouTube. I enjoy YouTube. YouTube's fun. I need to go catch up next live stream. Okay, no worries. Yeah, and I'll try and do some more of my bonsai videos. It was such a long list of things to do. So who have we got left? I can see two people. One of them's probably Callum leaving. And then there's someone else. Is that still Impaler the Monarch, or is it someone else lurking? It could be my godmother. I told my godmother, she came around before, and I said, yeah, she's like, what are you doing tonight? And I said, live streaming. Oh, YouTube used to be more just people real talking about life like you or making music. Yeah, it's changed a lot. You must remember way back before they had this standardized system. I've still got, if you can see right there, that's a printout of my old channel. I mean, it's printed out dodgy, so it doesn't quite look, but I used to have like a black background and then like purple and red boxes and so on, and you could customize it a bit like the old school MySpace. I never did a whole lot on MySpace, so I guess YouTube was my MySpace. And then at some point they came along with those standard sterile white things that we have now, and YouTube is still my home, but it feels like it feels different. And it's not just that I've grown and become more mature. It's just like the way they've set up YouTube now. It favors more commercial TV corporations and these really highly polished influencers. Yeah, it's not so much talking. I used to just come on. This would have been back when I had like a 10-minute time limit. Do you remember those days? So I even sometimes made 2 videos a day just rambling about whatever. Whatever was on my mind, whatever interests me. Nowadays, I feel like I can't do that, partly because I don't have a webcam. I'm filming this on my phone. And like the good thing about live streaming is I don't have to upload, because another thing that's changed, my old webcam used to have a really low resolution. And I mean, back then the internet was kind of shit. So even with a low resolution, like it didn't take too long to upload stuff. But now that I'm filming on this phone, it films in 1080, you know, HD. And I mean, I suppose I could drop the quality, but it's sort of a mixed thing, because on the one hand, you're mostly just seeing my face. Like, do you really need to see my face in HD? But I guess, like, for the things like the Punk Rave Australia videos, I kind of have to do that high-res, because the whole point is to see the outfit. I don't have any fancy lighting, though, so I'm still using natural lighting. But lately, with the seasons changing, the lighting's not so good in that room anymore. And I tried using a white towel as a reflector, but instead it just made the light come back up at my face and made me look like I had a serious monobrow. So I think you might even be able to see that when the next Punk Rave Australia video goes up. There's like one scene in particular where I'm like, it looks a bit silly. But yeah, I don't know. But so the reason I don't come on like every day, it's good to see you're still here. This was one of the first few channels I ever saw you, and wait, it's disappearing, hang on. And Ramboref for Life movie reviews. Oh, is that someone else that you used to watch? Rambara for Life movie reviews. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I did take a break for a while, and that was because of a somewhat manipulative boyfriend when I was trying that on. Yeah, which, you know, kind of sad about, but on the other hand, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have become the person I am today. That's why it's hard for me to have regrets, because everything, even though I go through a lot of suffering sometimes, at the end result is who I am today, and I don't know, it's hard to say whether I would have become a better person if I'd gone another route, but I think my brain being the way it is, I was always going to end up a little bit off balance, and yeah. Oh, there's a bunch more people now. Hi to everyone who's just turned up. Don't be shy, you can say hello, and ask me questions and stuff, because what, I'm here, I can probably stick around for another hour, so I try and like answer as many questions as I can. Hey, Paper Vampire. Yes, my name is Nicole now. At least when I write it on a cup. But I haven't had a chance to use it. Actually, what was it yesterday? What's today? Is today Tuesday? Oh my god, am I that out of it? I didn't sleep well at all. Yesterday was Monday, so I went to Chatswood with my yeah, Aaron. I'm never sure how to pronounce that. Aranea Roger? Roger. Can you even Brexit, Nicole? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Brexit. I don't know enough about Brexit. I've heard different sides of the story about Brexit, and I know there's so many different opinions, and I'm not in the situation, so it's hard for me to care. And we've just had another election, which you know, do you remember I did that video, that like hour-long video, hard or soft Brexit? God, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Brexit. But, you know, I did that video, why Labour lost the 2019 New South Wales election, and it goes for an hour, and it was specifically directed to my left-wing friends. So that video was a while ago, right? Was the election in March? But we just had another election. So I've noticed people are finding my video, and someone tried to leave a comment. It went to my spam folder. I think I already emptied my spam folder. Yeah, it went to my spam folder. But it was from someone who hadn't watched the video, hadn't read that I was talking about the New South Wales election, and they just started telling me all this crap about the federal election, and I'm just like, I can't approve this. Like, the stuff that you're saying is really dumb, and also nothing to do with this video. Like, come on. Anyway, point being, I go on tangents, so if I get off topic, just leave me a comment and remind me what the hell I was talking about. But yeah, no, well, now I forgot what I was just gonna say, because I went on another tangent about going on tangents. The EU Parliament election is in 2 days. Oh, okay. The Feds should have their power limited. Oh, because you're from Australia too, hey. I think. You're talking about Australian federal, right? Can I just call you Roger? Because that's easier. I don't know how you want the beginning pronounced. Yeah, but no, so the EU election thingy explains why that, is it Quirkazat channel, that In a Nutshell channel, they recently put a video up about the EU election. Quirkazat, I don't know how you say it. Huh, yeah, pass the machine gun. Now call me Atten. Atten, okay, I hope that's how it's pronounced, Atten. Yeah. Where were we? The French about. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the reason I don't know so much about Brexit, apart from being there, is just because I've been distracted by our own elections. But I got to admit, I've sort of got fatigue, politics fatigue. So while I did research a fair bit more for the New South Wales election, which the Brexit part is likely going to win the EU election. Oh, I'm not sure what that. Oh, hang on. You were talking about life freestyle. Yeah. I'm all over the place. Hey. I gotta say though, I'm so tired of politics. You know, the New South Wales election was enough for me, and then for the federal one, I sort of just chilled out for a bit, and I don't know, I probably focused on my own electorate a bit more. What's the point of a Brexit party when they can never leave? Okay, so there's a Brexit party in the EU election? Is that how it is? I've really not been paying attention. I guess that's something I'll have to look up later. Um, yeah, no, I've just had so much fatigue from all these elections, so I kind of just focused on my own seat. I live in Tony Abbott's electorate, and we finally kicked him out. I mean, uh, as far as I know, he does a lot of stuff locally that's not related to his position as an MP. Um, just the UK Brexit Party. Oh, okay. Oh, there's two Brexit parties. God, I can't keep up. The whole Brexit thing is such a shit show. Um, Tony Abbott. Oh my god, I haven't heard that one actually. Tony Abbott. Oh my god. Yeah, no, now we've got Zali Steggall. I don't think she's going to have any real impact within Parliament because it looks like ScoMo is set to have a proper majority. But we got rid of Tony, and so that sends a message to the far right of the Liberal Party who were causing the chaos. So, you know, it was like Tony, Peter Dutton. Who else was causing trouble? I don't even remember. I'm so over it. Tony Abbott Dyson V10. Oh, what a name. Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I think he cares about the local area for some things, but when it came to being a federal MP, I never felt like he really did a whole lot for this electorate. I mean, when the gay marriage vote was up, most of the electorate wanted to say yes, but because he's a strong Catholic and didn't really want to listen to what his people are saying, he said, you know, he wouldn't go with what the people think. So, yeah, but I think for the 2016 election, we didn't really have any good candidates, whereas this time, I don't really know how Zali decided to run, and I'm a little bit concerned about how Get Up got involved. That kind of pissed me off, but when I actually read her policies, I was like, oh yeah, she's all right. I'll go for her rather than Tony, and so finally got rid of him. Because, I mean, for me, I kind of just wanted him out of the party to stop causing problems. Islam is going to destroy the gay community. I know there's, like, problems overseas. I think Australia's fine, though. You know, like, there are some troublemakers, but it's not really too much of an issue. But, you know, I haven't kept up. I'm just over the politics. I'm glad that all the elections are done, because what we had a state by-election I think last year, and then the state actual election, and then the federal election, and now the UK shows. I don't know what the situation's like in the UK really. I've heard of stuff happening, but I'm so over it. I mean, to me it sounds like there's enough crazy stuff going on in Melbourne as it is, because, you know, all the young people have decided to fuck off there. I don't know. I haven't looked at Islam in a long time. I think it's like any group, you know, you always have some who go a little bit too far. I mean, if you think about, for example, feminism, right? I'm okay with I think second wave feminism, but like there's different versions of second wave feminism, so I'm not sure because there's like the radicals and the I just found out that there are heaps of versions of even second wave feminism. But then when you get up to third and fourth wave feminism, and especially fourth wave feminism, that's when you get the extremists. And I think that's just a natural thing of like any group, is once you get a group of people together, the people who are more passionate about it, they tend to have a louder voice and they tend to become the leaders, and then they lead everyone else to become more extreme, and then things splinter and it just gets into this big ball of crazy chaos. And yeah, I'm over that stuff. What are we looking at? In the US it is now, I have not heard that. So, I mean, I've heard that there's a lot of stuff going on with abortion these days. I've sort of disconnected from US politics as well. Everybody here in the US political is going to jail for hurting kids, killing people, and spying. Wow, I have not been paying attention to America. Is, you know, I used to watch what Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, You know, those guys. I watched them for a bit because when I was depressed, I think, because they put out content like every day. So when I was depressed and couldn't do anything, I just sit there and watch, I don't know, hours of Stephen Colbert. But at some point, was it this year or last year I stopped watching? I don't know. I just, like, after a while, once I recovered from depression, I realized I was watching too much of this stuff. So now I only watch Sam B because, I don't know. Some of her stuff I don't like, but every now and then she does something that's just like, hey, this is really entertaining to watch. And then I also watch Real Time with Bill Maher. And like both of these guys only do it once a week, so it's a lot easier, you know, to not get bogged down in it. But I like Bill Maher because every now and then he has someone really interesting on who's not on his side, and they actually attempt to have a reasonable conversation, which I'm more of a centrist, so I prefer it when people aren't just attacking each other. That's one of the annoying things about the Australian election that just happened is feminism is actually pretty conservative when you consider the nature of where voting rights actually come from. I think we have really different opinions. What's the next one? Roger is wrong. We don't count ourselves. That's Africa. He's making stuff up, hating real talk. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like I've definitely heard that stuff is happening regarding abortion rights in the US. I mean, technically, I think in most of Australia, technically, abortion hasn't been legalized, and that's something that people are, you know, trying to fight for. But it's not in the same way that they're trying to do in America. It's a bit like how in Australia we don't really have a right to free speech like written into the Constitution or anything, but you kind of have an implied right of free speech, except in certain cases where blah 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 blah. I don't know. Yeah, America and Australia are actually quite different, and I think that's why Australia's gun laws don't really translate very well. Especially the size of the country is just really different. Yeah, I don't really know what you guys are talking about, so yeah, maybe we can move on. But I have seen a lot of kind of toxic stuff coming out of the recent federal election for Australia. And it's just like on my Facebook, I had to unfollow another guy because he was writing some stuff that was like there's stuff coming out like people who vote for the Liberals, they're saying, are only doing it because they're like misogynists or Islamophobes or homophobes or like, you know, something phobes and something ists. And I'm like, that's not what happened in this election. It's more about economics and, you know, the particular things actually impacting on people. People don't vote for the Liberals because they're like, oh, I hate the gays, you know, I'm going to vote for the Liberals. They don't do that. They vote because, you know, they're worried that Labour will take money away from them. It's all about money in the end, isn't it? But yeah, no, this person was just writing all this shit about Liberal voters, and I'm like, that's not how it is. That's not what happened. You know, and then they're using that to justify treating other people like shit, and I don't like that. I think, you know, if we can try to get along, that's better instead of, you know, I don't know. Politics is super frustrating. What are you guys saying? I just missed a bunch of stuff. I'm completely. Oh, okay, yeah. They voted against me. Honestly, huh? Okay, my brain's not really processing at the moment. But another matter, with firearms legal in state, can't be, huh? Why are they keeping you on politics when you keep trying to talk normal? Oh, yeah, I don't really want to talk about politics because it gets pretty, like, nasty, you know. Everyone, like, it's one of those interesting things where people get kind of sensitive about their opinions and then can get quite aggressive at each other, and yeah. So I just unfollowed that guy on, huh? I don't even know what you're saying anymore there. Yeah, I just unfollowed the guy on Facebook. I mean, he does some interesting music stuff, but while the election is raw, I kind of just want to stay away. So maybe that's why I've been going on Instagram more, just to get away from that. Because Instagram, like, you know, you can't really. Japanese mayonnaise is the best mayonnaise, I gotta say. I don't know what Aussie mayonnaise is doing, but Japanese mayonnaise is where it's at. It does taste like it's heaps unhealthy for you, but yeah. Japanese mayonnaise. Okay, I don't like veggies, but broccoli is good for you, right? The way that I eat broccoli, oh shit, I told my godmother I was going to eat veggies tonight and I didn't. Oh well. The way you eat broccoli is like you steam it or you, half Asian too, Pacific Islander. Okay, cool. Yeah, no. Broccoli, right? You steam it or you microwave it or whatever, and then you get Japanese mayonnaise on it and suddenly it's edible. That's how you eat broccoli, especially if you hate veggies. Never tried Japanese mayonnaise, but Dutch mayonnaise is great. Okay, well, you should get your hands on some Japanese mayonnaise. I think the brand is like Kewpie or Kewpie. I don't know how they want to pronounce it. Yeah, but I told my godmother I was going to be eating lasagna with frozen peas. Microwave some frozen peas, and I didn't. I completely forgot. My life's been a little bit of chaos at the moment. Bourbon. I don't drink alcohol, so I know nothing about bourbon except that it's an alcohol. I'll take a look in the Asian super. Yeah, Asian supermarket. Ah, dear, yeah. Yeah, so what else has been going on? Yeah, no, Instagram's been interesting. I've sort of figured out that a little bit more, and I've found more real people on Instagram instead of just like, I don't know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on Instagram. Like, you're lucky if you get a comment, and half the time it's just like one word or some emojis. I understand if people don't speak English, so emojis is the only way to really convey something, and sometimes I can figure out when that's the case, but there are some people who just randomly leave emojis and you're like, I'm not sure how to respond to this. So you leave one back, and then if the conversation goes on, it's just emoji, 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 and I'm like, okay, so at some point I try and say something, and then that's usually where the conversation dies in that case, which is, but some of them stick around. Yeah, no, I've been trying to have more conversations with people, but I found lots of social media is just bots that are followers for money. Yeah, that's really frustrating. It's been hard trying to find like the real people, but I think I've sort of figured it out. And I mean, one of the things that didn't work is I tried commenting on some other people's stuff, but they kind of just say thank you and that's it. And then I've tried to keep the conversation going, but they're not really interested. And so that's, yeah, a bit of a shame. But I managed to find people who do want to have a conversation. I've had some those private messages with people that were all right. And, you know, talking about music a little bit, and some of them have come to check out my videos, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's been all right. Instagram's getting a little bit better for me. Because I guess, like, you know, it's social media instead of narcissist media, right? You're meant to be social. It's kind of boring if you're just posting photos and clicking like photos and then what? I don't know. I've just always found Instagram a little bit weird. I mean, I signed up to keep in touch with my Japanese family, but since I'm there, join Gab. I've heard of Gab. Which one's Gab? Is that like the, what is it? What do they call it? It's like a Twitter kind of thing, isn't it? The free speech social network, hey. Yeah. People are typing. Yeah, that's exactly how they type. Racist Twitter. Oh dear. No, I've heard of it, because like I was following the Jordan Peterson stuff for a while, and who's the other? No, there's another one. But yeah, no, I've sort of, I sort of get obsessed with stuff, and then I get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, I've had enough of that. So I think I've exhausted the Jordan Peterson stuff. I do have, someone gave me a link to, what is it called? The self-authoring program, and I was meaning to do that because my life lacks direction, and, you know, the theory that he described about the self-authoring course seemed all right, but I haven't got around to it, and that's the problem with these kinds of courses, isn't it? If you lack self-direction to the point that you can't even self-direct yourself to do a thing to find some self-direction. But I think since I got that without even doing it, you know, my life has gone in some interesting directions anyway. So, you know, getting the bonsai job, and also all this stuff with Punk Rave Australia that I've been working on. Yeah, so my life's kind of doing stuff on its own without me having to do anything, and that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. And supposedly the self-authoring program works better for guys in college anyway, and I'm not a guy in college, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can talk a bit because I used to sing along to a lot of rap because, my brother got rap. This is before I had access to heavy metal, so in high school, listening to Eminem and, learning the words to that. I think some of the words, though, I probably misheard, and so when I rap along, I'm probably saying other stuff. 14 is too young for college. Oh, that's right. I'm a 14-year-old boy, hey. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I have been wearing my Yu-Gi-Oh pajamas, although this week I'm wearing different pajamas, so it's more of this sort of girly, flowery, red and white stuff. Um, how did you deliver that self-direction for self-direction? Oh, man. My life is a mess, though, so I mean, I guess that's why I have time for Instagram stuff around on that. But it's been kind of interesting because the psychology of Instagram, you can. Nicole is actually Nicholas. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, no, Instagram's an odd thing, and trying to learn the psychology of what people are doing there has been interesting. Like I said before, I think before most of you guys, well, I could be a man these days, couldn't I? I've been mistaken for a dude every now and then. I think, was that the last video that I was talking about that stuff? Oh my god, I've lost my page. Dear, dear. Where's my video manager? I'm gonna be so sad when they get rid of Studio Classic. Because sometimes I try to use Studio Beta, but it's slow, and it doesn't show me the things. Now they're being mean, trolling. Huh? Oh, do you mean... I'm not sure. It's hard for me to work out what you guys were all talking about because it's a little bit disjointed. Who's being mean, trolling? I don't know. Anyway, when did I talk about... Wait, what was I just going to talk about? Oh my god, I lack focus so much at the moment. It's really hard to keep an idea of what I'm talking about. What was I just talking about? What was I trying to look at my videos for? I don't even know. Oh my god, it's just been so busy. I'm really a guy, but not really. Oh yeah, was it the last video? Was it the My Name is Nicole video where I was talking about people mistaking me for a dude? I think it was the last video. Wow, that's how crazy my life is at the moment, is I've just been, it's too busy, I've got this list of stuff on Patreon of stuff that I'm trying to do every month, and it's been really hard to get it done. And I've been frustrated. I've been like, oh my god, I've done nothing this month. I'm failing. But I was actually writing some notes. I was writing some notes for this live stream just in case no one turned up to like prompt me to go on tangents. And I was trying to think of like, why haven't I done anything this month? And then I started writing out all these things, and I'm like, oh, actually, I've done a lot. It's just not necessarily the things that I plan to do in terms of Patreon. So the thing that I'm struggling with in Patreon at the moment is I'm supposed to try and do a painting every month, but last month I did it right at the end of the month, and I still haven't gotten around to writing my explanation of the thing, and it's technically not really a painting. And then it's the 21st, is it? It's the 21st of May, so I've got 10 days to get a painting done and like figure out what else I'm going to have for my end of month Patreon thing. And it's just like, why is this happening to me all the time? Why is it only at the end of the month that I'm able to get all this done? And if I didn't have that Patreon goal set up, I would not be making any paintings at all. I'd be completely neglecting the visual arts side because my life is just gone crazy. Try writing a book I started in mid-2016. Oh my god, I've tried to write books and, well, not really books. Well, I think I was trying to write like a TV series. I got, like when I first got out of high school, I started writing a TV series, like a cartoon or anime style thing. And yeah, I think I was trying to write a few different ones. And I wrote one episode of one TV series, which was like a sort of demon hunter thing, but like set in high school, and it was like I had this whole world set up. And then I had another one which was a little bit Doctor Who-y, but it was like, oh shit, and that connects to the other story. Oh my god, I have so many stories that it would take me forever to explain. Because I used to, so have I talked about where the whole destroyer thing comes from? Apart from me like splitting my personality to deal with like who I'm supposed to be in public and who I felt like on the inside and all that. Apart like the name destroyer. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever to explain and I don't have time. I need to figure out how to make this story shorter. But it comes from the fact that you oh dear, oh dear. No, when I was younger, I wanted to be a dude. I was never really that into being a chick, but maybe you should write a book about it. Oh my god, I have my notes. I have my notes somewhere about, let's see, in my documents. I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna be. I know I've still got my documents about, like, this whole thing. Hang on, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I draw comic style too. They threw comments in that change your stream of thought. Oh yeah, so Impaler the Monarch, are you new to my channel or have you been lurking for a while? Because I don't really recognize your username. Did you come from Instagram? Because then I can figure out what you're missing. Because yeah, no, some of the stuff that the other guys are commenting is kind of humorous. Because you know we've been hanging out for a while and I don't know if it's maybe an Aussie thing because I think. What was I supposed to call Roger? Oh, I gotta scroll back. What was the name I was supposed to call you? Atto something, Atten. It's too far up. I can't see it. Yeah, no, I think Roger's an Aussie as well. And I don't know, in Australian culture, we're kind of chill about how we talk to each other. So, after a while, you can kind of just joke with people. Atten, that's what it was. Atten. Yeah, so, you know, don't take things too seriously, what everyone else is writing because, yeah, in Australia we can be quite rude to each other, especially so, I'm getting off topic again. Getting off topic is one of the things that I do a lot. My brain kind of just goes from idea to idea. It's a bit like how I am with hobbies. I go from hobby to hobby. I just, like, I get bored easily and then my brain moves to something else. Is this starting to sound a little bit ADD? Anyway, so my family's more conservative, polite people, and then my social circles are more like heavy metal, a little bit more the rough side of Sydney kind of thing. And, yeah, no, I can imagine my more conservative family being a bit like, I can't believe you people talk like that. But when I'm around more of my friend circle, I will drop the F-bomb a lot more and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I do it so much on YouTube because they don't really like it, but I don't actually plan not to say the F-bomb, but now that I'm overanalyzing myself, I'm saying F-bomb instead of just saying fuck this. But if I'm not thinking about it, I will just drop F-bombs like crazy. And then, you know, my dad sort of noticed that and he's like, wish you wouldn't say that. But then he drops the F-bomb and I'm like, you do this too, are you kidding? If we had a swear jar, come on, there'd be millions of dollars in that. What was I talking about? I'm so bad at this. Oh, we were writing a book about yeah, no, the Destroyer, the name came kind of by accident, and I think that's why I stuck with it, because I have this attachment to things that are like the first. I think that's why I stayed with the first boyfriend for so long, even though he was kind of an asshole, because I'm like, you know, well, he's the first. I can't possibly be wrong, right? I found your... Oh, that's right. You were telling me before. See, that's how fucked up my brain is at the moment. I found your YouTube here on YouTube years ago, but I never commented. Oh, okay, yeah. I just saw you went live. I was shocked. You were still active. Thought it was nice. So I commented today. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that would explain why I don't recognize the username. And then I guess, of course, some people have switched usernames as well, and then everyone's gone on to more polished content. So what am I subscribed to at the moment? Oh, no, I didn't mean to change that window. Hang on. So let's do an update on my subscriptions, because I haven't gone through that in a while. So there's Real Time with Bill Maher, Voice Hacks, which is like, she specializes in screaming technique. There's another one that I'm subscribed to, RMS Vocal Institute, but should I talk about my conspiracy theory related to that channel? I don't know, they're so disappointing what's going on with that. Anyway, I've stayed subscribed to RMS Vocal Institute just in case they actually do re-upload some of their good stuff, but, you know, I think they've just switched to the money, whereas Voice Hacks, she gives out her tips for free, and, so screaming techniques, and we used to just post our music here. Oh, okay. Oh, that conspiracy. Have I told you about this paper vampire? We talk a bit sometimes. Yeah, no, Voice Hacks, what's her name, Mary Z, and, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with everything she's saying about screaming technique. It's a pretty new kind of thing, but she does seem more upfront with her stuff. So I actually recently subscribed to her because she does analysis of different vocalists and what they're doing, and I've actually found that analysis side pretty helpful. Hang on. I find it funny we have nearly the same subs. And yeah, so I probably have talked to you, Paper Vampire, about this. But yeah, I'm still not sure what to think of RMS Vocal Institute. Anyway, so Real Time with Bill Maher, Voice Hacks, Full Frontal with Sam B. I like that she's just brutal sometimes. Creator Insider, they talk about all the technical stuff going on at YouTube. Most of it doesn't affect me because I'm just a no one doing my own thing instead of listening to their advice. But every now and then it's interesting to hear about what they're working on, and then sometimes I suggest stuff based on what I've seen. It's interesting because, like, you know, I'm a creator, but I'm also a viewer, so sometimes I give them feedback from both sides. They never respond to anything I say, though, so I just find it interesting. And yeah, occasionally they tell you some stuff that's kind of useful, but mostly not. Subscribe to Punk Rave Australia, just because, like, I mean, I know they're posting my videos as well, but I subscribe to them because once my video goes live on theirs, pretty much right after that, I can upload it on my channel. So, have I got an email from them yet? I'm still waiting to be able to post my next review, but I guess it hasn't gone up yet. They might be waiting because, Porcelain Purgatory's video went up, 6 days ago? So maybe they want a bit of space. That's probably based on my advice. I was like, hey, you should probably space out your reviews, because before they had Porcelain Purgatory and Andrea's videos went up almost at the same time, like a month ago, and I was kind of like, maybe you shouldn't do that. So it might be my own fault that my recent Punk Rave Australia review hasn't gone live yet. But yeah, it's sort of the same format, but I'm reviewing 2 items. I don't want to say too much about it. I try and change up the formula a little bit every time, because I don't want to be one of these formulaic YouTubers. But yeah, no, you'll see that. I managed to make it a little bit shorter instead of it going for a full half hour. Anyway, Punk Rave Australia. Kurzgesagt, it just stumbles out of my mouth. Kurzgesagt? I think that's probably the best I've pronounced it so far. In a nutshell, I like their sort of cartoony educational stuff, and their quality's gotten a lot better. But I didn't. Their most recent video is the EU Democratic Does Your Vote Matter. It just went completely over my head because I don't know, my brain couldn't concentrate on that. Tierzoo, I finally subscribed to them. I've been watching their stuff for a while, but yeah, Tierzoo is a lot of fun. It's like, if you haven't watched it, it's basically they're educating you about the natural world, like different animals and, you know, including dinosaurs, like all about that kind of stuff. But it's as if life was a video game. So, you know, their recent videos, are insects getting banned? How humans broke the game? Are goats OP? All this kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. I'm not even really a gamer, but I find that perspective entertaining. Did I just miss something? The EU is the Soviet Union 2.0. You love making bold statements, hey. I don't know enough about the EU. There are some things that I'm a bit like, oh gee, I don't know about this. Actually, I was watching on Netflix I don't watch Netflix very often, but I needed something to watch the other night. Anyway, so I stumbled on a whole set of conspiracy documentaries. So they're not like, they're presenting the conspiracy side of the story, and like the very first episode is about whether or not Hitler was actually dead. And so the first part, they're like, actually Hitler's still alive is a theory. The second part and the third part, I think, were to do more with like money, and I sort of zoned out for a bit. But then the last part was this conspiracy theory about whether or not the EU is like some legacy of the Nazi era. And I just love conspiracy theories. They're crazy. Let me just catch up on some comments. It's okay, I hate the EU as well. Love Europe, hate the EU. Okay, I don't really know enough about the EU, to be honest. I think, who's that guy? Is it Sargon was talking about stuff to do with EU around the time that Patreon was doing shenanigans, and I sort of got a little bit of a glimpse at that perspective of the EU and Brexit and all those kinds of things, but I didn't really research enough to find out. Do you like Berserk the anime? Which one's that? I haven't actually kept up with anime. Berserk. Let's see. Oh, no, it's given me Berserk, the clothing store. Berserk. Oh, I spelled it wrong, that's why, I think. Berserk. Let's see if I recognize any of the images. Yeah, no, I have no idea what this one is. So in terms of like anime and manga, I haven't watched a lot of that in ages. So I've got, what have I got? I've got the full set of Vampire Knight, which you wouldn't think would be my thing because it's kind of like a vampire romance, but there's a twist that just like, I was like, wow, this is actually really cool despite the romantic angle. Then I've got the full set of Death Note. This is all manga, by the way. Manga, I'm never sure how to pronounce things when I'm used to the Australian pronunciations. Like when my godmother says Wagyu, I was a little bit Wagyu, but then I say things like manga anyway. Anyway, I've got the full set of Death Note. I've got the original set of Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 to 7, so that's when it was violent. Then I have a few extra ones that I never really finished. In terms of anime, I've got Evangelion. I've got like one, don't really have any other sets, just, yeah, a bit of Pokemon, a couple of Pokemon movies. And then my brother, we watched the entire series of Great Teacher Onizuka, which is hilarious because my brother's now a teacher. But you know, that Great Teacher Onizuka is a bit extreme, but I like to think my brother's the fun teacher at least. And then what else? He's got that box set that came out with The Matrix. And he's more into anime than I am. So yeah, no, I haven't kept up. There are other things that I've watched, but maybe not from my own collection. Oh my god, there's so many comments I've missed while I was rambling about. Hang on, where am I up to? Hi, by the way. Yes, hi, Dark Waters. Yeah, I don't know, Dark Waters, I think you said that you used to watch me under a different account name. In a nutshell, if you are an EU member or an EU subject, you can't make your own laws. Yeah, I've sort of heard that. I mean, how do I pronounce it? Kurzgesagt was saying that, like, you elect someone who decides who goes there, but then there's, like, other elections, and I don't know, it was all too confusing, and my brain just doesn't care enough. Yeah, Sargon is one of them. Sargon is actually running for a seat in the election. Oh my god, I haven't kept up. Has he said anything new about the whole Patreon thing? Because I think maybe I briefly subscribed to him, but he wasn't making stuff that I like. Sargon and Patreon. Where did I get up to with that? It's not even bringing it up in the right order. Sometimes you try and search for things on YouTube, and it's just like, what even?
There is no principled
argument
for censorship.
Go away. Let's turn off the sound there. I was trying to do a search. Thank you very much. Patreon. Patreon purge. Does he have a playlist for Patreon? Maybe that'd make things easier. Oh my god, why can't I? Sometimes the way this stuff works. And no, he doesn't. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I've probably watched all the ones about that whole Patreon mess. Where are we up to? Yeah, it's so hard to keep on top of all the comments. Dead Alive is best anime. Or was it you who suggested the character that I look up? Cause yeah, that sounded like a really odd concept for an anime, but yeah, no, I haven't watched in ages. Hitler was in Argentina. The POTUS had the files released in 2017 on JFK file PDF. So in the documentary, they mentioned something about 2 U-boats showing up in, I think, Argentina, and then there was this whole theory about there being an underground base in Antarctica where supposedly the Nazis were hanging out after the war. But, you know, if you think about the logistics of Antarctica, good luck. It was definitely some interesting stuff, and like the reasons that they had that conspiracy about Hitler and all that. I mean, apart from the boring stuff about money in the beginning, who cares about money? But yeah, no, the theories about him actually being alive, and then the theories about the EU. It was interesting. Toka Yatogami will make Australia great again. Oh my god, I would make such a bad leader because I'm a little bit up myself, and yeah, I would make some harsh decisions if you gave me the chance. A violent children's card game. Oh, that must be about the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh used to be so good in those manga. Um, the original Yu-Gi-Oh animes on Netflix, and I just got up to one of the bits that I really like, and then I don't know, I got busy, and it's so hard for me to sit down and actually watch TV. GTO is a good one. I just watched the first 2 seasons of Ajin. Don't like the 3D animation. Oh yeah, I don't like what's happening with animation. That's one of the things that stops me. I like the older stuff. Vampire Hunter D is a good old school anime. I have a huge collection of anime DVDs and comic related DVDs. I think I tried to watch Vampire Hunter D, but I think I don't know, there's probably something about anime that I'm just not really that into. I'm not sure. So yeah, I kind of fell out of the habit. I think I was more into anime in high school. Oh, Nicole can't even date alive. What? That's so weird. Um, yeah, what I was going through my subscriptions and you guys distracted me again. What after Tierzu, there's I don't know how you pronounce this. Matthias Pilhady. Um, he's the one who did. I think I posted in the community tab one of his videos about, or was that other channel? Oh yeah, no, it was this guy. Would you eat a fish if it had arms and legs? And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's an interest. It's like an art advice channel in some ways, but there's like a lot of weird humor in that. I'm still subscribed to Blair White, but she hasn't really posted. Oh, she posted some stuff. I think she live streamed the other day. I don't know. I don't know what it was about. I've not kept up with the stuff she talks about. What was it? The truth about James Charles, Jeffree Star, and Tati. I have no idea who these people are, so yeah, didn't really watch that one. Mike Nana. So he's been keeping up with some of the weird shit going on in America. You know, with like the extreme, like really far left wing stuff. Some of that stuff's really crazy. So I'm subscribed to him just in case he puts anything out new. YouTube Creators is another one of these ones. This is one of the official channels from YouTube, and they tell you all this stuff. And I ignore most of their tips because this isn't my style. Like, even like making thumbnails. I only make thumbnails really if either like YouTube's automatic thing has a really bad automatic one for me where like, I don't know, I just look like a complete idiot and I'm like, oh, I should make my own thumbnail for that. Or if it's like a proper video like Punk Rave Australia. Otherwise, I don't really want to have a fancy thumbnail because I don't want someone to see this polished thumbnail and expect that I'm going to be a polished person. I want them to just see me having a chat, and then when they click the video with me looking just like me and it says 30 minutes in the corner, then they'll actually just know, like they'll expect that I'm just going to be a random doing a ramble. So yeah, I ignore a lot of their advice because, you know, the main thing they say is just be yourself, and I'm like, okay, this is how I do stuff. I like documentaries too. The weird thing is I found out about a group called ILO. I have a hunch you will be surprised if you Google them. They may tie to World War II and the bad guys being smuggled. Okay. Yeah, I've only watched one episode of the conspiracies. I'm not sure if it's... I think it was just like one episode on Nazi type stuff, and then I think they move on to like the moon landing, and they'll probably do 9/11 at some point. And Yeah, I didn't, like, I'd sort of vaguely heard of people thinking that Hitler wasn't dead, but I've never really looked at it in depth, so that was kind of interesting for me. Um, seems like, I think I used to watch more of that stuff on YouTube, but there's a point where, like, you've done too much and you're like, you just feel like you're wasting your life. I don't know. I struggle to watch stuff. I think I just watch random stuff on YouTube sometimes. Maybe I'm mostly watching screaming videos. I don't know. I don't know where the time's going. I've been so busy lately. Like, no, let's not talk about busy. Let's keep going. So Nick Nocturnal, I recently subscribed as well. He does, like the most used death metal stereotypes. Feat, I guess his friend. So they go through different stereotypes in like the guitar playing of heavy metal, and I've been watching that because I want to write more metal, but I don't really know how to make the sounds that I like. So when he's going through all these stereotypes, I'm actually like, oh, that's the sounds that I'm looking for. So I haven't really been watching his content, but I've kept it in my subscriptions just so that when I finally do want to do it, I can easily jump to him. And so for the same reason, I've also subscribed to Shady Cicada. Because he was doing, although at the moment he's just mostly doing like gaming music, and I'm not that interested in that. And then, there's My Name is Josephine, but she doesn't make many videos anymore. She's, I don't know, seems to have been connected with these guys, and what, NP something. I don't know what they are. It just says NP in the background of the thumbnails. And yeah, she doesn't really say very much very often anymore, so I don't know. I just have that subscribed just in case, but I feel like even if I wasn't subscribed, YouTube will just show me her stuff in like the suggestions anyway, because I watched it in the past. My grandmother worked in science at University of Chicago, Ascot. They smuggled a couple up to her job. Real talk. Hang on, what? I'm confused about what we're talking about now. How bad is the delay on comments? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Well, as a lab tech. Oh my gosh, I've got a friend who's constantly writing typos on Facebook, and I give her a hard time about it. But you know, it's kind of fun. She comes up with some insane typos. If you want to see, I help her run her. Oh, let's not open Facebook actually. I help her run one of her Facebook pages. If you want to follow it, it's just Kitwing Things as one word, and occasionally I'll post up typos there from conversations we've had. It's kind of funny. Some of the things that she's written, I'm just like, how do you? It's like that damn you autocorrect website. Yeah, and on that page, if you see the little thing, the squiggly line Miko, that's me posting on her behalf. Yeah, the typos are amazing. Who's this? Hellscream Academy English. So who suggested? I've forgotten your name. I would have to log into Facebook to double check your name. Oh wait, no, you were on my community tab. Let me check. How do I get to my channel? So community tab. Scrolling down. Oh no, and it's written in, I don't know if that's Russian or something, so I can't read it anyway. Yeah, no. So Hellscream Academy was recommended by Facebook, someone coming through my Facebook page, my public Facebook page, and but I subscribed to them, but they haven't posted anything in 7 months. And I think, from what I understand, this guide mainly advocates fry screaming, which I'm not really doing well with. So I've subscribed to it, but I don't know if I'll stick around because he's just not posting anything in English. I think he's got a Russian channel where he does more stuff, but yeah, he's not posting here. And I don't really feel like fry is what I want to be doing. So yeah, I'm trying. I still practice now and then, but it's not. I've worked out a different way to do higher screams, and so I want to practice that instead. And I think actually, Voice Hacks on that channel, Mary describes it as singing voice with distortion. I think that might be what it is, whereas I've just been calling it like a grit scream. I think it's the same thing that we're talking about, and maybe mine just sound high because I'm a small female, and so if you've got your voice into it, of course it's going to sound higher for me. Whereas I don't know, sometimes I feel like my false chord growling just sounds a little bit higher than if it was someone else. So then after that, there's Greg Simmons, but he hasn't really posted anything there yet. He's the guy who was fundraising for his trip to record the Morkan people. And I don't know, what date is it? I don't know if he's already back. And then he was going to go on another trip with some students to some other places, because he does those student expeditions. Oh, and then after that, I think all my subscriptions are just people who never post anything, but I'm friends with them, so. Anyway, that's an update on the state of my subscriptions. What were we talking about before that? I don't even remember. Does anyone remember what we were talking about before I got carried away with my subscriptions tab? Maybe it was talking about the people that I used to watch, like Stephen Colbert. That's probably what it was. I think that's what always gets me onto this tangent of looking at my old subscriptions. Yeah. Anyway, so what's next? I don't know. My most recent video, My Name is Nicole, has done a lot better than I was expecting it to. I'm not sure if that's because like I changed my Instagram so that instead of showing my dodgy website that doesn't always work, it now goes to my YouTube, because I think YouTube is kind of the place that I have the most fun. So I started directing people here, and I think some people on Instagram have started coming here. Anime, we were talking about anime, were we? I don't know if I have anything else to say about anime. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kind of want to watch Evangelion again sometime, but do you remember that when I did my video about the Sanity Music Store? Well, it's not really just music, but those DVDs I talked about, I still haven't touched them, so probably shouldn't commit to anything else. Before that, how I was doing. Yeah. Well, it's been super busy, just like, oh my god, you know, the whole, like, I sort of plan, in terms of the things I want to get done, I think Patreon is the thing that helps me structure it. So, you know, I go through my month thinking I've got to do these things, and then other things keep popping up, and it's just like, how do I get anything done? So, this month, what's happened? So at the beginning of the month, before I had Mariko 2, I never saw Evangelion. Oh, Evangelion used to be on, so, we still have Foxtel. I don't know, Foxtel's like, the Australian version of cable TV, except, like, we only had the one, like, you couldn't, that was the only one for ages, so we had that when I was in school still, I think. And on Cartoon Network, after a certain time, they'd play Evangelion, and even before that, when we had this tiny little CRT TV, I think that's where I first saw Evangelion, because it's old, hey? But I think I didn't really get to watch, like, episode after episode until we got Foxtel with it on Cartoon Network and staying up late, and they always played Linkin Park, Points of Authority, but, like, the remixed version. I didn't even know it was a remixed version. That's the version I always knew, so when I hear the regular version of that album, because I ended up getting the album, when I hear the regular versions, my brain is like, I don't even know what to do anyway. I don't know what's going on, you know? Yeah, so I think it's probably tied to my childhood, and that's probably why I like it more than the other mech shows. And it's super weird too. I love weird stuff. I don't know why. Maybe it's the novelty. Maybe because I'm always getting bored, my brain is just automatically attracted to weird stuff. And maybe because I am weird, and it's kind of like a friend. Because we can all be weird together. Anyway, did I miss anything? I'm sometimes not sure, because I just, like, you know, get an idea and start talking. I saw the art all the time. You have hair color like the one girl in that show. Oh, I miss having colored hair. You can still see there's, like, I think the ends of my hair get a little bit lighter, because that's where there was a bit of bleach. I don't know, my godmother really wants me to cut my hair, but I don't want to, because I'm growing it out so that when I can color it, I've got more to work with. I miss having colored hair though. It's just, it's fun, you know? I don't know, and you don't even have to dress up to look interesting. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not doing enough with my life to justify it. You know, it's expensive for one thing, and then the place that I used to go is closed down, so I have to go to someone else, and no one has the dreads that I like. Everyone makes their own dreads, but the place that I used to go, they had pre-made dreads, which they don't look as natural, but I don't care. I don't need dreads to look natural. They're synthetic dreads, like, come on. And because of the way they were made, they're a lot lighter. So actually, I've got a friend who makes dreads, and she made me a really nice set for when I was doing Rainbow Death Ray. But they just like, I had a lot of them, and it wasn't even a full head of hair, and it was already starting to feel kind of heavy. So I think I prefer the dodgier sort of pre-made ones because I like the texture of it, and it's light, and I can put more of them in there without feeling it. Yeah, so I don't know where I'm going to go to get those. I might have to order them online, and it's probably going to be from America, and it's probably going to be heaps expensive. So, yeah, I did buy myself some synthetic hair to make my own dreads, but I'm not very good at it. It takes ages. I've actually got a set in green, but I don't want to do my hair green again. I get bored. I have to keep switching. And most of the color that I've got is green anyway. So, I don't know, maybe I'll just have to eBay off all my old synthetic hair because I'm not going to use it. Yeah, anyway, making it, I'm not good at it, and it took to, like, I get so hot trying to make it because you also got to iron the damn things, and then they still aren't that thin texture that I like. I made some good thin ones, but not 100% what I'm into. Ever see the anime Gorona? It's weird. Nah, I really don't know much anime at all. Yeah, I don't know. I've sort of stopped consuming a lot of media. It's hard enough to get me to read a book. I don't watch many shows. I think what the last movie I saw was probably Venom, probably because it plays into my duality obsession. So I kind of like couldn't, not, no, what? I don't know, double negatives. I kind of just had to go. Godana? I don't know. I've never even heard of it. That's how out of the loop I am. I don't know what I do with my life. I think I spend way too much time on the internet, scrolling through Facebook and watching random suggestions on YouTube. So if we go and look at what YouTube's going to suggest to me right now, that could be kind of interesting. The kinds of things it thinks I want to watch. Jim Browning, he scams scammers. So he's like some tech dude, and he hacks into these guys who are trying to scam people, and he screws with their plans, but he also has like an educational side, and some of the stuff he does is interesting. So what, almost scammed for £32,000. Factual feminist. That comes up quite a lot because I guess I was trying to find out more about different ideas of feminism. I think in my regular life, especially having been to uni to study art, I had probably more exposure to the more extreme versions of feminism, whereas this is more like conservative feminism. I don't know, I'm sort of forming in my head a map of all the different types of feminism. So there's that. Then there's this random comedy, I don't know why that's showing up in my suggestions. More scammer stuff. Covert Cabal, I think, is about military vehicles and so on. I haven't watched one in a while, but that's coming up. I have no idea. There's some other comedy. Why is it showing me comedy all of a sudden? Does it think I've gotten too serious? I swear I haven't watched comedy in ages, apart from, like, Bill Maher and Sam B, but that's a particular type of comedy. Like, whose line is it anyway? Whose line is it anyway? I haven't watched that in ages. I don't know. And then we've got voice hacks. Yeah, no, there's some weird stuff coming up in my suggestions. Like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, and it's suggesting me Game of Thrones stuff. Let's tell that to bugger off. Not interested. Tell us why. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, okay, so that was kind of fruitless, looking at what... I don't know, I think I just watch a bunch of random stuff on YouTube, and that eats up a lot of my time. I think in the last few days I've spent too much time on Instagram, because now that I've figured out how to find real people on Instagram, I've spent a lot of time trying to find them, and maybe I should chill out a bit. Yeah, so I've probably done a little bit too much of that. But no, I've only got about, so it's 9:53, I'm going to have to go around 10. Hang on. Left you a message, had a thought about what you said earlier. Anyway, have to do some paperwork downtown, so I gotta have a good one later, peeps. Oh, okay, I'll check. I'm not sure where you mean by messages, but I will have a look at all the things. Why are some feminists mad at nice men? LMAO, I didn't do nothing to nobody. Yeah, see, I don't like the kind of feminism that just assumes that men are horrible. That, you know, it's a bit like the whole whiteness thing as well. Like, if you're white, you're automatically such a horrible person. And I'm just like, Facebook. Okay, I haven't got Facebook open because, you know, I can imagine that's distracting, but I will check it out. After this, I've got to go to bed early though, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up in like about 5 minutes. So let me just read my list of stuff of things that I've been doing this month, why I feel like I have no time. So at the start of the month, Mum asked me to research who to vote for, which was difficult because I don't know exactly what Mum's views are, so I kind of had to base it on my own ideas, but I know some of the things. And then I think we ended up voting the same way anyway. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure what Mum voted for. So researching who to vote for, that took ages because this is Tony Abbott's seat and everyone's like, he's going, so we're all going to try. So we had 10 candidates to research. That took ages. And then I didn't even have time to research who to vote for in the upper house. So I just went on past knowledge of the different parties. And then I had 2 bonsai shifts and needed a day to recover after that. So 2 days each week gone there. Bonsai's good though. No, I'm supposed to not talk about bonsai. I'm supposed to read all this. Oh, that's what I've been doing this month. I've been doing way too much writing. So this is mainly on Facebook. I wrote more than 1,300 words about business and social media gurus, and that's that video I made, I think it was 6 videos back, the one about not trusting business and social media gurus. So first I wrote the 1,300 words about that. Then I wrote 1,000 words of free social media advice for a local band that I've sort of half been following for a while. I don't think they took any of my advice, but that's okay. They asked for it, I gave it. I'll turn it into a blog post, I think, and I don't know, maybe I'll make it into a video if any of you guys are interested. I don't remember exactly what specifically it was about though, so I might have to make it more general. Maybe, I think 2 of the points might have been specific to their situation. Then I wrote 900 words of free social media advice to Punk Rave Australia because I noticed a few things. And then I went completely crazy and wrote 5,600 words for Punk Rave Australia. I did a social media report for them because I'm supposedly I'm their social media intern now. So I was like, well, here's all the things that I've noticed that you could work on. I am a nut job because they didn't ask me for that. No one asked me for this stuff. I just sat down and started writing and was like, writing. There's a little sticker, one of those hyperactive bunny stickers on Facebook that is exactly what I was like. Oh, little bunny ears. Yeah, so that took a long time because 5,600 words, you don't write that in one sitting. Writing is healthy. Yeah, nice meeting you too. And I don't know, I'll be around. And then this month I also did that Punk Rave Australia review. It's ready to go. I don't know when it's coming out though. I thought it was going to be last week, but we'll see. Then I went to a friend's exhibition opening. He's got an Instagram. It's at Tommen_Gram14. So at THOMMEN_GRAM14. But if you look up Edmund Tommen, or I think you can just type in blended nudes into Google and you'll find his stuff. So it's basically naked women, but it's tastefully sort of blended with all these textures, and he comes up with some really interesting stuff. And some of the titles he uses from my poetry, so it's really interesting seeing how he interprets what I'm saying into a visual image. So that's fun. Did I miss something? You were very animated. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Sometimes I can be low energy, but once I get going, I can get a little bit, especially when I'm tired like today. I also went to the dentist, didn't have any fillings this time, awesome, and I had a doctor visit, got my flu shot, and then she asked me some interesting questions that to me sounded like autism, and I'm like, I just got vaccinated and we're talking about autism. But no, she didn't actually say anything about autism. It's just me overanalyzing questions because we do talk about my mental health. But it was a long consultation, and it had to cut short at the end. So yeah, maybe it was some other psychology thing because I do still have some psychology issues. And then the rest of, so do you remember I thought that this week and last week I'd have heaps of time to make videos? That didn't happen. So last week I think I was doing the Punk Rave Australia thing, but this week So my parents are on holiday, which means we've got NDIS helping us get carers to help out with Mikey. So it's me and Dave and Mikey. But Dave's gone on camp and he'll be back tomorrow. So this is the first time I've ever been on my own with Mikey. And I had to learn how to do his medicine. It's been, how old is he? 27? 27 or 28, and yeah, I finally learned how to do his medicine. But we've had carers coming in to look after him in the morning, and then he goes to his day program, and then they've been sticking around for an extra hour to do his like night stuff. But you have to have a training to do the medication, so I've been doing that instead. Yeah, so that's the difficult thing about having a disabled brother, is when people go away. And then me being the mess that I am, I've generally not done, like, especially once Mikey went through puberty, I sort of distanced myself from looking after him. Because, you know, like, I used to help with changing his nappy, like, holding his hand so that he wouldn't touch and all that. And, yeah, once he went through puberty, I started to get a bit like, yeah, I don't know. And then me being a nut job and also having my own mental health issues, I sort of, yeah. I hope, I'm sorry if that was really loud. That's my alarm telling me to go. But anyway, so Mikey's stuff, last night was the first night I had just me and Mikey after the carers went. My godmother's been checking on me. So she came to visit. She helped me put the trash out today because, you know, it's trash night. But yeah, so last night, because because I have to let the carers in the morning, they come at 6 in the morning, and I knew, I'm sorry about your hearing. I should have set up my old Nokia phone as an alarm clock. I still have that over there somewhere. I didn't think of that, did I? Yeah, I'm really sorry. I think that happened last time as well. I don't know, maybe my last live stream was the really bad one, where I was just playing the video game. That terrible Age of Mythology plus rambling live stream, I think the last half an hour of that, I actually talk about stuff, and then at the very end of the video, I get carried away with these bubbles. Because I figured out you can kind of like push them. So I went a little bit nuts with trying to push them. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. But the live stream before that, I think the alarm went off as well, so that was a bit silly. Anyway, yeah, I really didn't sleep well last night because I knew I was going to have to get up at 6. So I got up at 5:30 instead, and oh, I haven't moved the chairs out of Mikey's room. Shit, I'm going to have to go in there. And I'm going to have to go in there because otherwise he'll do... I don't want him to sit on there if he has like a... Sorry, I'm gonna get rid of them, they're really distracting. Yeah, I've got to move the chairs out of his room from his computer so that if his nappy leaks, he doesn't sit down on it. But yeah, no, so I was a little bit stressed about that, and actually that's the reason I have to go to bed now, because I've got to get up at 6 in the morning, and so it's like 8 hours from now, and I'm just going to be dead. So that's what's really, this week, I haven't been able to get much done. Like today, I was up at 5:30, and then I tried to go back to bed for a bit, and then I was up for a little bit longer, and then I went back to bed, and today has just been another write-off, so I'm probably going to do nothing tomorrow as well. But Dave will be home tomorrow. It's just the morning that I have to do the thing, and then I can relax because the parents will be home on Thursday, which means I won't be able to, like, the reason I can live stream now is actually because no one's around, and I don't feel awkward about people walking in. It's just, like, Hope or Marley who might come in. But anyway, so that's what's going on. It's been stressful, because, yeah, I don't feel confident with a lot of Mikey's stuff, but I'm surviving. And I've learned new things. I know how to do his medication now. It's just like I'm so paranoid that I'm going to forget something. So yeah, it's been rough. And so that's why I haven't made as many videos as I was hoping to. And yeah, I think I'm just having trouble in general, staying focused and keeping on top of my to-do list. So I've got a to-do list here, and I've got another to-do list. Oh, most of this is crossed off though. And then there's like some video ideas on that one. And then I've got another one with stuff that I need to remember for... Oh, that one's a bit silly, but... And then I've got a whole document which was based on the things I said I was going to do for Patreon. 2019 goals and to do. I think I didn't really make this one. Oh, I can cross off my Optus recharge. Oh, but next, there's too much to do, and I've got such a huge to-do list that I'm never sure which one to do now unless I have a definite deadline. So like Punk Rave Australia, definite deadlines, but the rest of the things, kind of tough. So, but I will get some art done for, you know, the Patreon thing, and I'll try and post the last month's artwork. I'll write a thing up in a public post at some point, and I can't focus. I'm too tired. That's another thing today. So, yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out with me tonight. Cause yeah, that's kind of fun. And today was a really good one. I think because I actually told you guys that I was going to be here. Usually I just sort of do it randomly. I'm like, oh, I've got some time. Let's do a live stream. But we actually planned this one. Thank you to anyone who got up stupidly early for this as well. Because I know in like America, I think on the LA side of America, it's like 3:30 in the morning or something really awful like that. And even on the other side of America, it's still stupidly early. Well, you seem nicer, be safe. Cool stream, good luck with your new artwork. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what my artwork's going to be about yet, so if anyone if anyone wants to leave a suggestion, but yeah, no, I'll think about it. 12:30 p.m. here. Yeah, I thought I'd stream at a different time of day, just because I know usually I stream at like 2 p.m., which I think is good for Americans, but not so good for Europeans. So I thought if I stream later in the day, seeing as I have a chance, then, you know, it might be a nicer time for Europe. I think ideally for Europe, what most people tend to be online, like, in the evening. So like 8 p.m. is probably a really good time for Aussies to watch a live stream. But for Europe, I would probably have to get up at, it's 5 a.m. yesterday in Portland. Oh my God. Hey, Porcelain Purgatory in the Midwest. In the mid, is that like the middle of America, or is it like the middle and then slightly to the west? I'm a little bit vague on how America describes itself. Yeah, but I think for Europe, to get that like nighttime kind of thing, for those of you who prefer to watch then, I would have to wake up stupidly early. Let's just have a quick Google before I leave. If we say 8 p.m. in London time in Sydney, I would have to get up at 5 a.m. for that to be 8 p.m. in London, and I'm not doing that. I know probably tomorrow, especially if I'm stressing, I will be awake at 5:30. 7 a.m. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. I mean, I guess it was probably 5 when you got up, though, anyway. Yeah, but even though I'm going to be up early tomorrow, and the carer will come at like 6, and I can't do videos when other people are around. And I've also got to do Mikey's medicine because he has medicine morning and night. I've also got to feed the dogs because Marley will be harassing me like crazy, especially with his papa gone. And yeah, it's just going to be nuts. And then I think tomorrow, the middle of the day, will be just awful. I could conceivably live stream again, like if I'm not going to do anything with my day, I could live stream in the middle of the day tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't know that you guys really want a live stream again. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I should probably just chill out, try and do some painting, or what else is on my list? Oh, I've got to like post blogs and stuff that I said I was going to post. Yeah. And I've got so many videos I want to make. There's just not enough time, and I don't have enough focus because I need downtime, you know. Technically I have enough time to get all this done, but because I need time to recharge, I think that's the reason I struggle. Yeah, anyway. Hoping the next video will be the Punk Rave Australia one, because, you know, I'm enjoying doing those. I worry that maybe I'm saying the wrong styles and all this kind of stuff, but hey, if you want to find out something, the way you do it is you say something wrong on the internet, and then everyone will correct you, and that's how you learn stuff. It's like, without having to Google anything yourself, everyone else will Google it for you, right? So that makes it okay. I wouldn't mind another live stream, but you seem really busy. Well, like, I could maybe. So, you're in Europe, so 2 p.m. I could do, if you like, talking, have fun. Yeah, I'll think about it. Just see if tomorrow goes the same as today, what will happen is I'll wake up at 5:30. I'll open the door for the carrot. I've got to hang on. Let me just write down that I've got to move. Hang on. I'll just put a note on my desktop. Move chairs out of Mikey's room. I'll go do that right after this live stream, and hopefully I don't wake him. He can sleep through just about anything though, so it should be okay. So if today goes like yesterday, I'll wake up at 5:30, stressing about the fact that I need to wake up at 6. I'll open the door for the carrot to be able to get in. Then maybe snooze a bit longer. Oh, who's it gonna be tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And then by 6:30, I need to be out of bed again. Give Mikey his medicine. Then I'll probably be in zombie mode for a while. And then I went to sleep around 9 o'clock and then woke up at 11. And that's why my day was so screwed up. But yeah, I don't know. If I live stream tomorrow, it'll probably be around 2 p.m. I'll try and be a little bit earlier. But we'll see. I'm not making any promises. So if you happen to be online tomorrow around 2 p.m. Sydney time, so 2 p.m. Sydney in, let's see, California will be 9 p.m. for America. In Europe, it'll be 6 a.m. in Brussels, Belgium. That's where it says Europe is, Belgium. 6 a.m. there. Or if you just type in 2 p.m. Sydney and then in whatever country you're in. I might try and be a bit earlier though. So if I can have an early lunch, maybe I can start live streaming at 1. Because I'll probably be dead in the morning. So if I'm coming back, 1 p.m. tomorrow, possibly 2 p.m. But if I'm not live streaming by around 2 p.m., just assume it's not happening. Cool. So maybe, because if I'm not functioning anyway, maybe we'll just have a chat and that'll be what I do for the day. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If you want to see more of my stuff, like, you know, I've been hanging out on Instagram a bit more, just trying to figure that out. I'm on, like, all the main social medias. That'll be 6 to 5 a.m., so I might still be... Why do you say 6 to 5 a.m. instead of 5 to 6 a.m.? Stop screwing with me. Yeah, anyway, so you can check me out on all the social medias. I haven't updated some of it, which is me being slack, but I will try, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, otherwise in the next video. Cool. This light gone crazy. You said 2 p.m. to... Okay, alright, fine. 2 p.m. to 1 p.m. Yeah, I'm tired. I've got to sort out stuff. I've got to try and get to bed by 11, because otherwise I'm just not going to function tomorrow at all. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. I have no idea how to sign off these things. Maybe I should take some of those YouTubers' advice and... no, I can't be bothered. Let's just stop this abruptly. Oh wait, no, I always fuck up because it always says, are you sure that you want to stop streaming? And I never remember that it's there. And so now here it